Alright everybody, it's day 4, the New Mexico BDR. It's a bit of a different vibe today. We decided to take a break from the grind last night and we actually rented a cabin in Arizona. It was a nice little change of pace. I woke up feeling pretty fresh for the first time in days. After 3 pretty intense days on the trail, it feels good to have a little reset. And today, instead of just focusing on the ride, I wanted to do something a little different and just talk about the ins and outs of the trip so far, how things have been going, and how the bikes are holding up. My bike, well, started making some weird noises yesterday. Still can't quite figure it out. At first, I thought it might have just been my aftermarket skid plate. I actually bent it, but I was able to fix it. Then it started rattling against the motor. I made some quick adjustments, but then started hearing some ticking noises in my engine. I'm actually thinking it might just be the cam chain tensioner, or maybe just the valves need adjusting. Not ideal, but I think it's okay to keep pushing. My plan is just to deal with it after this trip unless it gets worse. Will's XR650, on the other hand, is doing great. That bike's a tank. The only hiccup was on day 2. His carb float was stuck and dumped some gas, but that was an easy fix, and it's been pretty solid since. And then there was the Gila. That was pretty rough on this gravel road section. My bike did not handle well at all around some of these corners. I dumped the bike again going through there. This was the second time on this trip, but this time I ripped one of my pannier bags. We pulled over at Snow Lake and I stitched it up as best as I could. It's not the prettiest fix, but it's holding. Adventure, right? So yeah, that's where we're at. Day 4, a little banged up, a few scars on the bike, but spirits are high and we're still rolling. Every day out here is unpredictable, but that's kind of the point.
Is it?
Dude, I'm having so much fun in it.
As long as it's not hail. Looks like it already came through. This is already like keep going that way.
amazing to see all that New Mexico has to offer. I've been to almost every corner of the state, but this trip's taken me more places I didn't even know existed. So that's pretty cool. If I'm not mistaken, I think Will and I had this conversation somewhere along the ride. He asked me, would you ever do the entire New Mexico BDR again? And I kind of chuckled, paused for a second, and said, not the entire thing. But there were some absolutely incredible sections I'd go back to in a heartbeat. Like the section through the Gila, man, that was unreal. And the section from Grants to Cuba, I think that was section 6 into 7. That one was just beautiful. Super scenic, desert, flowy, it felt like we were just flying in spots. If there was one thing I wish I had more of, it was time. We had a tight schedule and needed to hit specific waypoints every day. I want to say we were pushing over 300 miles in some days, so yeah, we pushed pretty hard. One thing I definitely learned the hard way is don't overpack fuel, but better safe than sorry, I guess. I spent weeks stressing that I wouldn't have enough range. My KLX 250 has a stock 2-gallon tank that gets me about 100 miles, and I carried over 2 extra gallons in my saddlebags, but I only ever used one. So I definitely have to say, if you're watching this and planning to do the New Mexico BDR on a KLX 250, yes, it can be done. And honestly, it's not that bad. You don't need to go overboard with fuel like I did though. Every day out here teaches you something, whether it's just about the bike or the terrain or just how far you can push yourself. And this ride through New Mexico is definitely one I'll never forget. Damn, dude.
Will's hanging off a cliff here. Damn. We are in Monument Valley, New Mexico. There's Cabazon, right? Yeah, somewhere between Cuba and Grants. We just marked our 1,000 miles, probably 30 miles ago. Yeah, now we're just trying to find some place to camp.
Pretty amazing.
It's beautiful. Dude, I want to wake up to this. I want to wake up to
This camera
I want to sit right here and drink coffee in the morning.
just doesn't do justice.
So Mount Taylor, we kind of cut around it, huh?
Yeah. Kind of disappointed, man. I feel like that had a lot more to offer.
But we ran out, chased out of the rain at least.
Yeah.
Didn't have to deal with that. I bet if we went up and over the peak, we would have been dealing with a little bit of rain.
Dude, I don't want to sit on that. It's gonna fall.
I'm kind of feeling like this is slowly going down.
Oh, brother.
Here, hand me that. Why? It's only a 15-foot fall and then a 45-degree angle all the way down to a bunch of rocks. At least it's a soft landing.
Here, Frisbee.
Think this will hold too?
Crazy, man. It's hard to believe this trip's almost over. 200 miles to go.
Yeah.
Probably finish tomorrow.
Probably 170 miles to go now.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe, dude. We were in Arizona this morning.
So let's camp in 52
I want to.
at your spot.
Yeah.
That way we can hit all the high notes, and then I'll call Josh tonight and tell him to just cancel that room, and then Lacey just pick us up in the morning from Antonito.
On Thursday morning?
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
Then we can go home and shower.
Yeah. Curious to see how mine's doing.
I really liked this section.
This was fun, dude.
From Pine Hill to Cuba is, I would have to say it's my favorite so far.
This, I would say this section is the most photogenic. It's just beautiful, man. I've always been a mountain person, but really see what the desert has to offer, the high deserts. It's amazing.
I feel weird because it feels like we're in New Mexico. Like, this is the most New Mexico thing I feel. Like, just those peaks and valleys and all the pretty out there. But I feel like we're in a different state. It feels more like what I'd imagine Utah riding to be like. I just want to hear some coyotes tonight.
Down in the valley.
Yeah.
This is cool.
I think I'll set my tent up right there.
Right on the edge.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find some service. Well, shit. My bike battery just died. And it's flat. I can't even jump it. Damn it. Alright. Alright, dinner for tonight. What are you eating, Will?
Beef stroganoff, the usual, and a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee and some stroganoff and 3 cheese mac and cheese. Got the jet boil going. And some solidified M&Ms for dessert.
This has always been my favorite one, dude.
Stroganoff. I've never had that brand.
Mountain House?
Yeah. Did they change the label?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I have then. Okay.
Yeah, because they started coming out with new recipes, and they're like, people bitch, so they're like, oh, we'll bring it back in like an old school label.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Got the tent set up. Will's Nemo. Look at this, dude. I guess I haven't even really looked at this.
Here, let me hold that. Your shit's boiling.
Is it?
Show these fine people how to finish this meal off.
Oh, damn. Yeah. That's done. Alright. See what we got here. Looks good, man. I don't know how much a cup of water is, so I'm just gonna do it by eyeball.
You know, I didn't even see how much this one called for.
Way too much shit.
No, it'll soak into the noodles.
I hope. Nothing like some soggy mac and cheese. I'm not complaining. We did 300 miles today, man. Alright, do I let that sit? 8 minutes. Stir again and then 7 more minutes.